Hi, welcome back to the Wuzzy Knitting Podcast, episode 3. I just attempted to film this video, but I was hearing lots of strange noises, and I've been watching a lot of paranormal investigating YouTube videos, so I'm definitely like sus about all the sounds I'm hearing. But it makes hanging out in a big empty warehouse, well, it's not a big empty warehouse, but it makes life more fun to be on edge all the time. But anyway, welcome back to my knitting chat. I decided that I should probably make this a bi-weekly video since I really didn't have a lot to talk about last Saturday when I attempted to record this video. So I thought I would just wait instead of like just talking about things nobody cares about. So I have a couple things to talk about today. I have mostly yarn that I've acquired over the past 2 weeks, and then I have a few finished things and a few whips, and then I have like some secret whips, and I have some fun mail. So I have just a couple like random things to talk about. I'll just start with the finished objects since it's gonna be the fastest thing to talk about. Because there really aren't that many. There are these socks, which are from my second 52 weeks of socks video. These are the vervain socks from 52 weeks of socks. And these are like the last pair of socks that I made. I am working on my third pair of socks in that video series. I'm working on those right now, so I'll just flash them real quick because I have about 1.5 socks done. But I don't want to go into too much detail about those because they will have their very own, video. And we don't want to get too repetitive on this channel. The other thing that I made was another one of these. This is just like a kind of crappy crochet yarn bomb. One day it will be a yarn bomb when I like attach all of them, but I made another one and it's like so wonky. Like, look, I'm really not good at crochet at all. Like, I watched I think one tutorial that was like how to change colors when you do crochet, and then I was like, cool, I get the basics, I kind of know what I'm doing, and like I really don't care. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna like feel it and like just like, you know, let my hand do whatever it wants. And I was trying to count stitches, but like, oh my god, this looks so awful. It looks like there's a big bite taken out of it. Whatever. It's going to be public art anyway, so it doesn't really bother me. Alright, and then I'll just flash you my other finished sock. It's not even blocked yet, so it's gonna look kind of different in my actual 52 weeks of socks sock number 3 video, but here it is. It looks so sad and like shriveled up. This is the sock. You will hear more about this in the coming days. This is my first ever toe up sock. It also has a German short rose heel, so that was a first for me as well. And I think it was pretty successful. I use yarn from scrap, so once again, I have no idea what kind of yarn this is. It is self-striping, I think. And like the heel came out pretty cool with the self-striping. But other than that, it's a mystery. And you'll hear about that in a few days. And that's it. Those are my only finished objects. It's getting sad over here, and it's because I'm deeply obsessed with sock knitting, and sock knitting takes time. Also, I'm going to be traveling in a few days, so I'm just like kind of trying to wrap everything up, gather everything, figure out what I need to do. I've also been like swatching a lot for this like other project that I can't talk about. So I've just had a couple other things going on, but once I'm away from my home base, my area, I don't know how to describe it. Once I'm traveling and and I don't have any other responsibilities, I think I'm gonna have more time to do like fun yarn things. So I'm gonna try to make some more videos about that. So it won't just be sock content on this channel, although there are more sock videos to come because I'm just riding this wave of deep sock obsession right now. I like to embrace my obsessions because it's really like, if my brain is telling me like, you just knit another sock, then I'll just keep knitting socks until I get tired of it because I'm enjoying it right now. But let me just go over my whips real quick because again, I don't have very many. I am still working on my cable knit vest that I talked about, I think, in my first Wuzzy Knitting podcast. I'm still making the charts, so it's taking a little bit longer than I hoped, and it's because when I originally designed that pattern, I look very shiny. Oh, I think it's because I'm covered in sunscreen. When I designed that pattern originally, it was knit flat front and back, and they seamed the front and the back. And then I thought, while I was like finessing this pattern, I thought, oh, like maybe it would be better if I wrote it in the round. And this is like just a little, this is another version essentially. Why am I having so much trouble talking? Maybe because it's 9 o'clock at night. So I'm in the process of writing this pattern so I can like hand it off to test knitters to test. And I am making charts, but I wanted to just like re-knit it in the round to see how it looked. And I'm also making the charts like as I do this. So right now I'm knitting a size, this would be a size medium. And I've just started knitting the front and the back at the same time, but I'm just still on like the bottom portion. So I don't know if you can tell. I have like a crazy bright light right now. It's like kind of blinding me. We have our two cables, two like twists, and then a staghorn cable in the middle. It looks like it's hard to see on the camera, but it's essentially the same thing as my gray vest. I'm just knitting it in the Loopy Mango worsted weight tweed yarn, and then I just put some stripes in there for fun. And I'm working on the knitting charts for the size extra small, small, medium, which will have the same charts. And then I'm gonna grade it up because I don't want to just grade the side bodies, like where there's stockinette stitch here. I don't want it to just like have more stockinette as the sizes increase. So I'm gonna make different charts as the sizes get bigger, and they're gonna be slightly different than the smaller sizes, just so like the cable pattern kind of opens, because I would hate for it to just be like this tiny cable pattern with like a bunch of stockinette on the sides. I feel like it would look better if I kind of spaced everything out, like made it proportional to the original design, you know? I'm just blabbering. But I guess that's what you do on a podcast, right? You just blabber. So this is my whip. And hopefully it will be a pattern soon. But it's hard to put down the socks and pick up that vest. Oh yeah, and then I'll show you another whip, which is a sock. And then I have to show you the saddest yarn ball. I have a yarn winder that my mother gave me. The yarn winder was another one of the things that I was like, no, I don't need to buy that. I can just wrap the hank. I can just unravel the hank and sit on the floor with my knees up and put the hank around my two knees and wind my yarn into a ball. And I did that for about 2.5 years. And then I got a yarn winder from my mom because she felt like it might help me, and I refused to buy one. So thanks, Mom. But anyway, what I was saying was, even though I have a yarn winder, sometimes my yarn balls still fall apart. And I have this beautiful yarn from Dream in Color. It's the smushy cashmere yarn in the color Enchanted, which I've used this color before in worsted weight, and I got the like sock weight, and I was winding it on my yarn winder, and the ball flew off the yarn winder. And so then I tried to continue winding it, but it really wasn't working. And then I was like, oh, like it's okay. It kind of looked like this, but it was all together. And then like this portion came off. So now I have this, and it's definitely gonna be a big mess soon. But I'm trying to keep it like an organized mess because I really don't want to have to cut it, and like I don't want to just, yeah, anyway. Anyway, I'm using it to knit a simple sock, which I'm knitting for a little sock tutorial, which will also be on my channel in the coming days. This is the sock right now. It's, wow, I hope my light's not like too bright. I feel like my light might be too bright. This is the sock right here. It's that same yarn I just mentioned, Dreaming Color in Enchanted. It's so cool. I really like this yarn. And then I have this pink yarn that I'll talk about in a second, just for some simple stripes. So this is going to be a how to knit a simple sock tutorial where I will show you how to knit a sock that looks basically like this with a forethought heel, which is right there, and then like a really simple toe. So it's like a very easy knitting pattern. It's really nothing like the patterns in 52 Weeks of Socks, but I didn't really want to start with like an introduction to difficult sock knitting techniques since I'm still learning like about all the different heels and stuff. So I thought sharing like simple steps to make a sock with a peasant heel would be like nice. From one beginner to another, how to knit a very easy sock. So yeah, that's my whip. And I just tossed that into the yarn and it got stuck on the needles. Those are my only whips. And now I have some fun things to share, some other fun things to share. I feel like I'm gonna edit this video and I'm gonna be like, what the hell were you talking about that entire time? Like, just blabbering. The next fun thing I have to share is a gift from my lovely subscriber, Sam. Sam heard my cry for help with the sock blockers in, I don't know, in one of my videos, one of my last like 5 videos, I talked about sock blockers and how I didn't want to buy them and I was just like gonna make it work, but like if like sock blockers showed up at my door, I would be so happy and I would definitely use them. And Sam had some extra sock blockers in a size medium, which is probably pretty close to my foot size. I'm a women's US 8 or a European 38, like, or a UK 6. Hopefully those are all the same sizes, but who knows, maybe I'm just buying different size shoes. But Sam sent me these and I'm so excited to use them. I'm definitely going to use them to block that sock I just showed you. This one. So that'll be in 52 Weeks of Socks knitting journey week 3. So thank you so much, Sam. Sam also sent me the cutest tiny little clown. So precious. I love it so much. I hope you can see it. Is it focusing? It's so cute. It's like, I love it so much. I opened this and I like read the note and I was like, oh my god, it's so precious. So thank you. Thank you so much, Sam. All right, and then the last topic is yarn acquisitions or yarn haul. This is yarn from the last 2 weeks. That yarn I just talked about, the Dreaming Color yarn in Enchanted that I'm knitting the easy sock in, I got this this past week, and that is smushy cashmere, like I said. Let me see, where's the tag? Oh my gosh, the ball is falling apart. What did I do with the tag? Oh, it's over here. Okay, that is smushy cashmere and it's 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. And I really like that yarn. It's so pretty. I really wanted to get that other color that I had used before, Tucson. I'll show you. This color that I have in worsted weight from Dreaming Color is called Tucson, and I really hoped that the yarn store would have the sock weight in this colorway, but they did not. I'm pretty sure they do make it though, so hopefully I can find this soon. Not that I need it because I have a lot of yarn right now. From that same yarn store, I also got, okay, I'm sorry, all my balls look really crappy right now. This ball also flew off the yarn winder, but it's held together a little bit better. So I also got this from the same yarn store, and this is from Kelborn Woolens. This is their perennial yarn, and it is 60% superwash merino, 25% suri alpaca, and 15% nylon. It's 497 yards and 100 grams. And the color is neon pink. And I got this with my aunt in mind because she loves this color. And I knew that I needed to find a pink yarn because I knew that I would want to knit her a pair of socks. Since I have 52 pairs of socks that I'll be knitting over the next year. So I saw this and I was like, that's the color. Gotta buy this, even though it was like $30. Yeah, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for yarn. I'll pay $30. Okay, and then the same trip, same store, and they had just got a box from Malabrio of their new Ultimate sock yarn, and what I've been told is that they have a sock yarn, which is just merino, like, I don't know, superwash merino maybe, or just merino wool. It doesn't have any nylon in it, and then this is Ultimate sock yarn, which does have nylon in it. So that's what I got, and I believe this color is called Rosalinda, but the tag is like deep in this cake, and since I've had some bad luck with cakes this past week, I don't really want to like pull it out. But it is the Ultimate sock yarn from Malabrio in the color Rosalinda, I believe, and it's very pretty. It doesn't really match my sweater, but it looks like it when I hold it far away. Yeah, I haven't knit anything with this yet, but I did a little swatch, and I'm excited to use it, but I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet. So that was like one trip to the yarn store, and then later that week I went back with my mother because they were having like their end of the season sale, where they like put things on sale because they're gonna get like winter yarns or something. They had some yarn on sale. Of course it was not the yarn that I wanted, but they did have these little skeins, which I wound into cakes, and these worked out much better. These were on sale, and I got these with my mother in mind. She was with me, and I was like, no, I don't really want any of the stuff that's on sale. And she was like, you should get some of the stuff that's on sale because it's like 60% off. And I think these were about $30 regular price, so the discount was pretty good, and these are 100% cashmere. These are from Earth Yarns hand-dyed tonal cashmere, and I got, oh, and they don't have like color names, they just have lot numbers, and they're probably technically like maybe half of a regular hank. They're only 220 yards and 50 grams and 100% cashmere. Did I say that? So I got this brown color and then this red color. So since they're like together, they would make up like one of these. I'll probably make her like some cute striped socks to try to use them together. And then from the same yarn store, this was like the yarn that I hoped was on sale, which was not. This is, I'll have to pull the label out again. All these cakes are I shouldn't say curse words. All these cakes are kind of falling apart. Isn't that cool though? I got this with my uncle in mind. I'm going to make my uncle a pair of socks for when I go to Seattle. I'm going to hopefully arrive in Seattle with 3 pairs of socks finished for my family that lives there. And one of those family members is a man, so I will be attempting to make a pair of socks for a man with this yarn. And I say that because I've not done that. I've barely made socks bigger than my own foot, and when I do, I worry that they are going to be way too big. Like, if I make a sock for a foot bigger than my own, I'm like, it looks huge. And I think it's just because I'm used to looking at my own foot. Does anyone else have that problem? Like, you don't know the scale of anyone else's foot? I mean, why would you? Like, okay, never mind. This yarn is by the brand Life in the Long Grass, and I definitely could not read that label. I thought it said life in the Longress until I googled LITLG yarn because like I don't know, the script is so close. I was like, what the hell is a Longress? But anyway, this is the zebra sock yarn and it's 100% superwash Highland Merino. The color is Gray's Lake and it is 438 yards, 100 grams. And the colors are inspired by nature and hand dyed in our studio in the Irish countryside. Cool. I'm really excited to knit this. I think I'm gonna knit this like in one of the next couple sock videos. Well, I definitely am because I'm gonna be in Seattle in like 2 weeks. Let me attempt to put this back into the cake. Alright, so that was all from the same trip. And then I went to another store a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago at this point, and they had some like yarn from the previous owner's stash that they were selling, so it was super discounted. And they had these mini hanks, these, which I wound into sad cakes. These are I stuck the tag on the wall. These are the String Quintet Shepherd Sock yarns, and it is 80% superwash merino and then 20% nylon. In total, it's about 530 yards, so they're like a little bit more than 100 yards each. I got all these for $15, which I think was a pretty good deal. Oh, and then on the same trip, I told my mom she should pick out a yarn for me to knit her pair of socks, and she picked out the Queensland Collection Perth yarn Australian superwash wool blend. This is what it looks like. This is 80% superwash wool, 20% nylon. So this will also be a pair of socks from 52 Weeks of Socks. And then she also bought me a ball of yarn to knit myself a pair of socks, because she's getting into it just as much as I am. She bought me this one, which I was like really into. I was like, I love the color and it's so soft. This is from Juniper Moon Farm. It's Harriet Fine Baby Alpaca blended with nylon. And it's 75% alpaca, 25% polyamide, and the color is Pampa Sunrise. So pretty. I'm tempted to make the, what are they, the Avita socks, like the first or second socks in the book that I was talking about in my first video that I really, really like. So maybe this will be those. Okay, I'm gonna try to talk in hyperdrive because my camera is flashing at me that it is going to die. But I only have 2 more things to talk about. Yeah. Okay, and then since I'm going to be traveling, this makes no sense at all. I guess since I'm going to be traveling, I went to buy more yarn. Even though I'm going to want to buy yarn like in the cities that I'm traveling to. And I'm probably not going to bring, I'm definitely not going to bring all of this. I'm going to bring like 2 of these cakes. These haven't even been wound into cakes yet, but I went to the consignment yarn store yesterday just to look. And I found a few things, but I was like really trying to hold myself back. It's like, don't buy a bunch of stuff because like you're gonna want to go to yarn stores in the cities that you're in and buy more. Like, I was like talking myself down, like, Eliza, you're being excessive. So I got 2 things. I got this sock yarn, which is Araucania yarns. Huasco sock? Oh my gosh, I don't know how to say this. I feel stupid. This is hand-painted superwash wool blend. 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide. So pretty with the purple and the blue and the green. I'm really excited to see how this knits up. This will definitely be a pair of socks from 52 Weeks of Socks. And then I got this because I wanted another orange hank, and then I saw that this one came with this little brown hank, and they were like almost the same price. So although I don't really like this color combination, I do think I can make this look really cute with something else. And this is the Sock Squad. The colorway is Fantastic Mr. Fox, and it's superwash merino and nylon. and it was only 15 bucks. And then this one was only $12.50, so these were like half off or something. And that's it. That's like all I have to share right now. My camera is flashing at me and I'm so scared it's gonna die. That's all the fun stuff that I have acquired, and I really need to stop buying yarn. Like I just like don't even want to look at all this. I'm so ashamed that I have acquired so much yarn over the past 2 weeks. Like, it bothers me. Like, you guys know I don't like stuff I don't need, at least, or stuff I don't think I need. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for chatting with me about yarn and projects and finished objects, socks, etc., all that good stuff. Hopefully the next Wuzzy Knitting podcast will have more finished projects. It might also be in a different place because I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be in Seattle, Portland, and Northern Michigan-ish. So if you have any yarn store recommendations in those places, please let me know in the comments. I'll definitely check them out. Definitely gonna go to Ritual Yarns, or Ritual Dyes in Portland. I'm very excited to go there. But yeah, that's it. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked my blabbering. Okay,